Hi there, girls who rock. My name is Megan, and I'm going to show you a fun and easy way to practice your lyric writing, learn a little bit of rock and roll history, and maybe even get your first song out of it. Now, if you've ever tried to write a song, you know that it can be a little bit overwhelming. We have all kinds of ideas, but we don't really know where to start. How do we organize our thoughts and our words, and does it have to rhyme, and how many lines do I need here? Well, there's lots of flexibility, but sometimes the best way to get to that creativity and that flexibility is to start by trying to fit lyrics into a set formula. And rock and roll has a lot of set formulas in its music. One of the most famous and common of those is called the 12-bar blues. And it's all contained right here in this one chart. Doesn't look like it could be as long as an entire song, but in the 12-bar blues, you just repeat the same pattern over and over again. So let's start by finding our 12 bars. You can ignore the A, and B over here for a little bit. We'll get to that in a minute. And you'll see that we have a grid here of 4 squares across and 3 squares down, 12 squares all together. And we have them organized into 3 rows of 4. Those are the 3 lines of our pattern. Each line gets 4 boxes. Each box gets 4 beats if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want, you can do the math and figure out how many beats in the whole pattern. Your teachers will thank me. These numbers that we have here, and yes, they are numbers and not letters, because to symbolize chords in music, we use Roman numerals. So if you're familiar at all with Roman numerals, you know that what looks like an I is actually a 1. An IV, with the lines on the top and the bottom, is a 4, and just a V is a 5. So whatever key we're going to play our 12-bar blues in, for me on the ukulele, the easiest key to do that in is the key of C. We're going to make that key our 1 chord. So for me, C is the 1 chord. Now to figure out which chord is going to be my 4 chord, all I have to do is start on C and count forwards in the alphabet 4 times. C, D, E, F. So F is my 4 chord. 1 more, and I get G. That's my 5 chord. You can do this with any key. Of course, our musical alphabet only goes from A to G, so once you get to G, you just start back over and A. Let's say you're playing the guitar and you want to play a 12-bar blues in the key of E, because that's a little easier key to play on the guitar. So E is your 1 chord. Your 4 chord is going to be E, F, G, A, and your 5 chord is going to be B. So works with any key. We've got sharps and flats and stuff in there, but with the simplest keys, you don't need to worry about those too much. So if you've got an instrument that you can play a 1, 4, and 5 chord, then you can learn how to play the 12-bar blues as well. This first line shows me that for 4 boxes with 4 beats each, I play my 1 chord, the C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the second line, for the first 2 boxes, I switch to the 4 chord, which for me is going to be F. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then in the 3rd and 4th boxes, I switch back to the 1 chord, or C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the 3rd line is where I add my 5 chord, my G or G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. But just for 1 box. Then we go to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then back to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's an optional or 5 in the last box. If you're playing more than 1 verse and you want to be able to turn around and go back to the beginning, then you can add that 5 chord in the last box. And that's pretty much all there is to the chord changes of the song. So these chord changes come from the blues. And the blues were around for a long time before rock and roll, and a lot of rock songs still being recorded today use this exact same chord progression that came from the blues. I'm going to demonstrate this pattern with one of the most famous rock songs of all time, Hound Dog, which you may have heard made famous by Elvis Presley. But song Hound Dog was not written for Elvis Presley. It was actually written as Hound Dog Blues for one of the most famous female blues singers of the 1950s, Big Mama Thornton. So Big Mama Thornton's version of Hound Dog Blues is on your playlist of 12-bar blues sung by girls, and her voice is a little bit bigger than mine, but I'm going to help show you how our chord progression works, and so you can hear it in the context of the song. Let's do a little intro here. Here's our pattern. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, snooping around my door. Here's my second line. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, snooping around my door. And the third line. Oh, you can wag your tail, but I ain't gonna feed you no more. Gonna go back and do it again. You told me you was high class, but I could see through that. Oh, you told me you was high class, but I could see through that. Daddy, I know you ain't no real cool cat. So here in the lyrics, you might have figured out why I have A, B over here. In each verse, the first line and the second line are the same. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, been snooping round my door. I play that all the one chords. Then I sing the same words, our A line, in the second line. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, been snooping round my door. In the third line, the words change, but the last word rhymes with the two lines before. You can wag your tail, but I ain't gonna feed you no more. So we rhyme door with more. Of course, Big Mama Thornton is not from Wisconsin, so she says do and mo. We say door and more. And either way, we rhyme our A line with our B line. So all you have to do to write lyrics to a 12-bar blues progression is come up with two phrases that fit over these 16 beats and that rhyme. So what are some things that are giving us the blues right now? Let's see. Well, summer's kind of lame this year. Can't even go to the pool. Oh, I tell you, summer's pretty lame this year. Can't even go to the pool. Oh, I'm so bored out of my mind. Might as well just go back to school. Hopefully you're not too bored yet. Give it a try. See if you can come up with an A line and a B line. And as always with the blues, if you need subject matter, think about something that's driving you crazy, something that's bumming you out. That's where some of the best blues songs come from. So try to write a line that you can repeat for your first two lines, your A line, and a second line, B, where the last word rhymes with the last word of the A line, like pool and school, door and more, that and cat. Just your last two words have to rhyme. And on your Google Classroom, you're going to see a video of a blues jam track. So if you don't feel comfortable yet playing an instrument along with this progression, then you can practice singing or even just speaking your lyrics in rhythm over that blues track. And suddenly you've got a song. Good luck. Write more than one verse if you can. And maybe this will be the start of a long and wonderful songwriting summer for you. See you soon.